hold on. You're moving too fast. You gotta learn some patience, child. Let me help you out. Y'all know I like to ponder. And I sit with God and I'll ask him the same question over and over again until I get the right answer, or until I get an answer. That's probably the better thing to say. But I've been like, just pondering the timing of God. And one of the things that I've really been thinking about is just like how the world was formed. But further than that, like before I go into that, this is about like personal life, right? And trusting God in the middle of places by trusting his timing. Because that usually like our timing and his timing is never the same. But when God speaks a word to us, we get excited and we kind of think like, all right, it's done, And the truth is, it is done. There's a process that has to be walked out in order for us to see it come to full fruition and completion. And that's where the world kind of started coming in, where it like really started to click with me mentally about when God speaks a word and how we see that thing come to process, like to life. Or just even when you conceive a child, right? The moment that thing happens, you're pregnant. But you don't deliver the day that you conceive, right? Let's go somewhere. Hold on. Be patient. I really want to encourage somebody with this today. Because I know God has spoken so many things over my life. And sometimes I'm like, God, this don't look like what you said. Or when is that going to happen because I'm tired? Or just like all the things we got to go through, And lately, I've been actually just like, you know what, Papa, do it in your time. Because you know what you're doing. And your timing is perfect. I like learned that so many times. Like your timing is perfect every single time. And so yeah, I just want to encourage somebody. If you're waiting, wait trusting him. And if you're having a problem trusting him, if you're doubting, just ask the Lord to help heal and forgive your unbelief. In Mark chapter 9:23, I'm pretty sure, there was a man, he said, I believe, Lord, but help my unbelief, right? There are times when we're going to our faith might waver a little bit, right? Or we might doubt, or we don't trust as thick as we really want to, right? So just ask the Lord to help you surrender your will and your timing for his as you're waiting upon him, right? But I want to encourage you that like God knows where you are and his timing is perfect. As God is positioning you right now, his timing is imperative and you have to trust him for his timing. You literally like do not know. Like how many times in life have you ever just thought about a moment that you're like, man, that timing was crazy perfect. And God is aligning life like that for you, even when it doesn't look like it, even when it doesn't feel like it. Here comes the world, right? The Lord, like we can go back to the beginning of the word, and it says that the Lord spoke and light. He said, "Let there be light," and then there was light, right? Like he spoke all these things, and then they were. But what we don't realize, and this is the revelation that I have for this, as I've pondered with this for so long, based on God's timing in my life, right? And so when he spoke it, it was done. But that don't mean that we saw it right then. Everything did not happen actually in one day, in 1 second, in one moment. It didn't. That's why when scientists, they look back, and this is where it kind of like started to trigger that thought, is when they look back, they say these things were millions of years old. These things are this, and this, and they're not all the same age, right? Humans are not the same age as when they started, finding formations of the earth, right? But the earth was formed before people, right? But God spoke it and it was done. And so that means that like as soon as he spoke it, these processes started to take place in the earth, right? And then as those processes were finished, that's why he created man last, right? So, he was preparing the place that he would put us. Come on, God. Come on, God. So he is preparing the place he plans to take you. The thing that he's called you to do, you're wondering why it's not happening right this second. God is preparing you, and he's preparing the place that he wants to take you. So that when you meet each other, you're ready to be there. It's ready for you, right? You don't want, like, you're about to build a house, baby. It don't get built in one day. Or it might fall down, because that's kind of quick to build a house. And you want it a certain way. God promised it a certain way. You can't go stay in it as soon as they put the beams up. It's not ready for you yet. You're not ready to be there yet. So trust his timing. Trust his timing. At the right time, God will do it. In Isaiah chapter 60, verse 22, right? God is talking about how he's taking this small thing and he's going to expand it. And he'll hasten it at the right time. At the right time, he will make it happen. You just got to stay the course. You just got to keep laying the bricks one at a time in order to build that house. Your change is coming. Your season is shifting. You got to hold on, though. You can't give up right now. I know it'd be tough. So if anybody know it'd be tough, I be knowing it's tough. I know it's hard to like wait sometimes. But when you see the divine alignment of God, you'll be thankful. And that starts creating maturity and wisdom in your life. That you don't want it on your time, but you want it on God's time, because you know that God's timing is so much more precise than yours. You might have the timing that when you run out there, you get smacked by a semi. Lord, don't let that happen to nobody. But I'm saying figuratively, something could be waiting for you that you can't see, that's coming too fast. But if you wait when God says wait, that thing will pass you and you won't be affected by it. And then, boom, because you waited, God is like, now it's time to go. The path is clear ahead of you. You have become who I needed you to be for the season, for the place that I'm calling you to walk into. So trust his timing. And remember, I got to this place now that like I am reflecting every time. when I find myself in a season. I'm learning that now, actually. But the things that we go through in a season, what we experience sometimes in a season, the behaviors that we use to respond, sometimes God allows us to wait. Not just because he's preparing that place, but again, remember, because he's preparing us. We have to start taking inventory of what he's trying to teach us, what he is trying to prepare in us, what he's trying to change, what he's trying to grow in us before we get to that place, because we can ruin a place too. A place cannot be ready for us, or we could be not ready for a place. And so as you're in a season and you're going through trials and tribulations, start looking at the trials and tribulations. Are they consistent? Are they the same? Whether they are or not, what is it? How am I responding? Who am I in this situation? Because God is trying to also show us ourselves so that he can grow us and prepare us too. And the sooner we catch on, the better it'll be. The quicker we probably can get out of a season because we're learning to grow. Pay attention. Have patience. Trust God's timing. He knows what he's doing. I was reminded today of the death of Lazarus. And I want to encourage someone right now. I want to speak this over your life. God is being precise about his timing because he is going to be glorified for it. Martha, she was mad because Jesus had not arrived to save Lazarus prior to him dying or as soon as he died. Instead, it was 4 days that had passed before Jesus showed up on the scene. His body was stinking, he was rotting, and the whole purpose was because the positioning of that miracle was such that there was no other way Lazarus could have come to life unless it had been Jesus. And so he's going to do the same thing as he's resurrecting, positioning, purposing, and moving you into the place that he has called you to be. So, baby, he knows what he's doing. Trust his timing. Get your heart ready and look at him.